Come on, Lego. Are you kidding me? 2 straight videos talking about Cole Caufield. Why, bro? You obsessed with this guy or something? And, yeah, I kind of am, I guess. The Canadiens, even though they're my second favorite team, the Vancouver Canucks, they're my number 1. Montreal has been my 2 for the longest time. And it doesn't help that Cole Caufield was my favorite prospect heading into the 2019 NHL entry draft. And it doesn't help that we had some big news yesterday that he did indeed sign his contract with the Habs. However, in this video, we're going over, just briefly, what appears to be the plan. Because now that Caufield is in the organization, we have ourselves a framework as to what exactly we can expect out of this organization, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's a little bit genius, to be honest, how Bergevin is trying to move things around and how exactly things could be laid out. So, bear with me as we go over one more Caufield video, hopefully for the next few days. I hope that we don't have to make another one of these until Caufield actually debuts in Laval. Actually, yeah, no, that's definitely going to be the plan, because he has to quarantine for a week, right? But Cole Caufield, if you're not aware, is a Montreal Canadiens prospect. He was really good in the NCAA. We've already spoken at length about how good he was last year, so check out yesterday's video talking about him and Dylan Holloway if you want to get the scoop on that. But yesterday, after we uploaded that video, he signed with the Habs. It's a 3-year entry-level contract, and that is absolutely not a surprise to anybody. Nobody was expecting anything else. But now, we have ourselves a conversation to have as to what is going to happen next, because when Marc Bergevin had his press conference literally the same morning Caufield signed, except the conference was held before the signing, they asked him, hey, when are you going to sign Caufield? And he replied, let me think about it and I'll get back to you in a couple of days, he said, with a big smile on his face. Now, we know what happened. This was yesterday, so a few hours after this press conference, the contract was signed, and it was a done deal. If you take a look at the actual contract layout, this is the write-up from the Montreal Canadiens subreddit. The agreement will see Caufield earn $700,000 at the NHL level in 2020-2021, and $832,500 at the NHL level in both 2021-22 and 22-23. Caufield will also receive signing bonus payments of $92,500 in all 3 seasons, and he will earn $70,000 per season at the AHL level. The deal also contains performance bonuses up to a max of $300,000 in 2021-2022 and up to a maximum of $850,000 in 2022-2023. So, the AAV, taking a look at it right here, $880,000, and it goes on until 2023, where Caufield will be an RFA, and he will need to re-sign then. But we had word from a few sources, from Pierre Lebrun, from Renaud Lavoie, talking about how once Caufield completes his quarantine, his destination is not going to be Montreal. In fact, it is going to be the Laval Rocket. And right away, some people are going to be like, oh, but he was so hyped up, and Bergevin said all this stuff before about how they expect Caufield to be a part of the Canadiens this year. What's going on? Why is he going to Laval? Hold your horses right here. Because with the way the Montreal Canadiens are assembled, this honestly could be the perfect opportunity for how exactly they're going to structure their team going forward beyond the trade deadline and into the postseason. Right now, if you take a look at the Montreal Canadiens and their cap usage, they have about $500,000 in projected cap space. Their overall cap situation took a hit when they acquired Eric Staal, because even though there is salary retained there, he still is making $1.625 against the Montreal cap. You could say, oh, that's a small amount, and yeah, I guess it is, but it's still there, and it's affecting the Montreal Canadiens' cap space. Now, we know with the taxi squad and the AHL and the up and down system going on over there, things have been really complicated. You have teams out there sending players to LTIR, taxi squad, and all that up and down every single day to spend as little money as they need to in tertiary players. You save money when you put players on the taxi squad per day. You save money when you put players in the AHL per day. With Cole Caufield in the Laval Rocket system, he does not count against the Montreal cap. And as a result, heading into the trade deadline and the start of the postseason, this will give the Montreal Canadiens the opportunity to move out money necessary to actually go out there and open up a roster spot, as well as the necessary economic space to allow Cole Caufield to come into the Canadiens organization, start playing with Montreal with no projected problems. Having him in Laval will give him the opportunity to play pro-level games. They've got a great coaching staff over there in Laval, and they've been doing really well with Paling and Ylonen and Jordan Wheel of all people. So Caufield is getting first-hand experience there. He's not jumping straight into the NHL. He is getting that starting point, I guess, with pro hockey players in a pro hockey league, and once Bergevin is ready, he'll make a few trades, a few moves, some transactions to open up some money on the Canadiens, which will allow the Canadiens to call up Caufield with no damage. And things get even better in the playoffs, because as we noted with the Nikita Kucherov stuff, the entire cap circumvention conversation we were having a few weeks ago, there's no cap in the playoffs. Every team has to pay out their players for the span of time that the regular season persists. It's not including the playoffs, because not every team makes the playoffs. When you sign a contract for 2020-2021, that is the 2020-2021 season that you're being covered for. It does not include the postseason. The postseason is extra. So if the Canadiens have a plan to go out there and make the playoffs, which we know kind of is their plan, Cole Caufield, Tyler Toffoli, all these other players, Eric Stahl, the money doesn't matter anymore. Just have as many players on your roster, bring them up, use them, and actually have some development there in the postseason. The Lightning are going to do that with Nikita Kucherov. He's going to be ready to play in the playoffs, and very fortunately for the Lightning, it does not look like he's going to be able to return any time before that, making his cap leeway that the Lightning currently have completely obsolete, which is totally fair, right? It's totally not cap circumvention there, but regardless, for Cole Caufield, he's going to be going over to Laval, on paper at least, because I will say, we've already discussed my own personal opinion. I would not be surprised if Caufield suited up for a game, played some time in Laval, had some experience at the pro level. That's all good, right? But who knows if there even is going to be a game played? Who knows if Marc Bergevin just doesn't go out there and make a move now because he wants to move out money and he wants Caufield in the lineup ASAP. Having Tyler Toffoli still out of the lineup can change things, because we know how good of a goal scorer he has been this year. If you want that goal-scoring touch to remain on your team, do you say, okay, well, we need to do something now. We have this bye week, these extra games that we got freed up that we're going to have to cram into the schedule sometime later on. This is the time to go out there, trade Paul Byron, trade, I don't know, Arturi Lehkonen, trade somebody who's making significant money for a draft pick, get Cole Caufield into the lineup, have him play with Suzuki and Toffoli, and what else? Fill in the blanks after that. We did say in our previous video, it's time for the Canadiens to make trades now because they do have this week off, and the quarantine time for American players getting traded over to Canada has been reduced from 2 weeks to 1 week. And we saw them make a trade for Eric Stahl just a little bit after. So there indeed is probably a few other working parts around this situation that I don't think we are fully aware of yet. But for Cole Caufield, whether he plays a game in Laval or not this season, who cares? He's going to play in Montreal regardless. After the trade deadline, I'm pretty sure his spot on the Habs is pretty much guaranteed. And all that we're waiting for is Bergevin to go out there and make the necessary moves that will allow this contract, this brand new contract added into the organization to actually fit. So, talk to me in the comments. When Cole Caufield debuts, isn't it just going to be so great seeing Suzuki, Kotkaniemi, Romanov, and Caufield all on the team at the same time? I'm also kind of pulling that from the subreddit here, but yeah, these are the future Habs superstars in the making, already suiting up for the team this year. That sounds so incredible to me. So talk to me in the comments what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Am I right about this stuff? Do you think I have a point here in discussing the plan, or am I completely off? If you have any other suggestions, then please feel free to leave it in the comments. We'll hope you enjoyed this video. So, and bye.